Hello and welcome to Calvin Presbyterian Church. My name is Carol Reed. I serve as pastor, and I'm here with Mark Bilyeu, who is our director of music. In the midst of this crazy time in our world, the sky is still lit by the rising sun, the birds still circle overhead, and there are signs of God's presence all around us if we stop and look and listen. It's Mark's and my hope that in this brief time of music and meditation, you will be reminded of the wonder that is in God's creation, the one that God gave us and the one that we find in one another. Psalm 8 speaks in beautiful poetry about this wonderful world that God has created. O Lord our God, how majestic is your name in all the earth. You have set your glory above the heavens. When I look at your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon, and the stars that you have established, what are human beings that you are mindful of them? Mortals, that you care for them. Yet you have made them a little lower than God and crowned them with glory and honor. You have given them dominion over the works of your hands. You have put all things under their feet, all sheep and oxen, and also the beasts of the field, the birds of the air, and the fish of the sea, whatever passes along the paths of the sea. O Lord, our God, how majestic is your name in all the earth. And a prayer. by Roddy Cowie. Comes from a book, We Bring You Everything and Tip It Out in Front of You, by Wild Goose Publications from Iona in Scotland. God of the sunlight, thank you for the fits of being able to respond to light. God of the living breath, thank you for the gift of being able to feel it brush our skin. God of the sunset, thank you for the gift of sharing in the cycles of time. God of the stars, thank you for the gift of being able to discern the pattern in their courses. God of the darkness, thank you for the gift of being able to sleep in peace. God of the inner selves, thank you from the silence of our souls. Amen. Some sage advice to us from Wendell Berry. This is from a book called Earth Prayers. When despair for the world grows in me and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free. And then this piece called Discover Love by Fiona Cayley. It's from a piece of work called Around a Thin Place from Iona in Scotland. At least once in your life, take a crazy diversion. Visit the top of a mountain, be storm swept by wind and rain, Sleep under the stars. Sing. Smell the blossom as spring arrives. Open your mouth and catch raindrops. Lie down and watch satellites cross space. Stand up under a tree and look up. In a rock pool and look down. Sit by a beach fire till it burns to embers. Spend time in your own company. Listen to the sound of waves through a window. Discover love. Discover silence. Closing, a prayer by Israel Nelson. You called it all into being, this expanding universe that keeps growing. I cannot number the stars, and even less can I number the planets that circle them. The whole is governed by laws of physics that we humans are still discovering. The more of your mystery you reveal, the more amazed we are. Perhaps our greatest joy is to realize that you have chosen us on this one small planet at the edge of the universe to be the ones who receive bits and pieces of your mystery as a continuing revelation. Certainly a great revelation is your coming among us as an infant one of us who gives us the gift of resurrection. How can we thank you, except by loving and accepting one another? Amen. Go in peace to be filled with the wonder of God.